There's a great quote that says, everything in life is difficult before it's easy. In the beginning of this week's Parsha, it says, Vayeshev Yaakov, Jacob dwelled, settled in the land of Canaan, the land of his forefathers. In the very first Rashi says the following. Rashi quotes the Midrash that says, Bikesh Yaakov leishev b'shalva. Jacob wanted to sit in tranquility, in peace. He said, I had a lot of struggles in my life. I'm an old man now. I had to contend with my brother Esav. I had to contend with my uncle Laban. I had to wrestle with an angel. I had to deal with two wives who weren't exactly intended for me. I was tricked into marrying the wrong woman. I had sorrows with my wives. But now, thank God, I made peace with my brother. I'm back home. I made peace with Laban. I defeated the angel. Life is good. Let me enjoy the last years of my life in relaxation, in peace and tranquility. Says the Medrash, and Rashi quotes it in the very first Rashi, Kafatz alav rogzo sheyosef. Suddenly a new storm erupted in the life of Yosef. Yosef's abducted. He's presumably dead. Jacob mourns for him 22 years. And the whole story of moving to Egypt eventually and being reunited with his beloved son Joseph after making him a coat of many colors. So Rashi says, why? Why couldn't Yaakov enjoy a few years of menucha, of peace? So here's the words of Rashi from the Medrash. Tzaddikim, righteous people, they want to sit b'shalva, they want to sit in peace in this world. And God says, sorry. It's enough what I have waiting for you in the next world. The next world, that's your world of peace, of enjoyment, of pleasure, of tranquility. This world is no peace. You have to work, you have to do. And the question is, what's wrong? Why can't a tzaddik enjoy both worlds? The next world, of course, his reward. But why can't a tzaddik have peace in this world? Why did Yaakov have to suffer more? He already suffered so much. And I saw a beautiful shot. I never really understood this Rashi. But someone pointed out, from one of the commentaries, that if you look at the opening word of Rashi from the Medrash, it doesn't say Ratzah Yaakov leishev b'shalva. Jacob desired to live in peace. It says Bikesh. He sought. What does it mean, Bikesh? It's one thing to wish. I want to have an easy life. I want to have a good life. Nothing wrong with that. But don't go seeking out the easy life. Bikesh means he didn't just desire it. He was looking to find and accommodate a life with peace. And that God says you can't do. Because if you're looking for the easy path in life, you won't do what needs to be done. Don't look for what's easy. Look for what has to be done in life. If it comes easy, great. But if it comes through challenges, be ready to go for the challenges. Because if you're looking for the easy way out, you won't be necessarily doing what you need to be doing. And that's the criticism, so to speak, of Jacob. Not criticism, but what God is saying to him, I'm sorry. As a righteous person, you shouldn't seek out the easy life. You should seek out the good life. If it comes easy, great. But if not, not. Matter of fact, the rabbis tell us that one of the ways to know you're doing a real mitzvah is the more opposition you have, the more you know it's a mitzvah. Why? Because the Yetzer Hara, his job is to prevent you from doing a good deed. If you feel a lot of resistance to doing something, it must be a very good thing. Because if it wasn't a mitzvah, the Yetzer Hara wouldn't work so hard to stop you. So the more resistance, the more opposition, the more challenges you find in what you're doing, the more of an indication is that it's a good thing that you're doing. And that's why sometimes the areas of our life that are the most difficult areas of our life are precisely those areas that we could reap the greatest rewards, because the Yetzer Hara is fighting us tooth and nail in those areas, because he knows that your greatest achievements in life will come by conquering that particular challenge, overcoming that obstacle in your life. It's a story about the Hasidic master of Naphtali of Ravshitz, that he would go out when poor people needed tzedakah. He would go out and fundraise from people to raise money for poor people. And that was part of what he did as a tzaddik. He learned Torah, but he also went around raising money for the poor and the needy. One day he went out raising money and he distributed to all the poor people. He came home and he sat down. He wanted to relax and learn a little more Torah. There's a knock on the door. He opens the door. There's a poor man. The man says, I need help, Rabbi. My wife is ill. I'm unemployed. My daughter needs to get married. I have a sick child. I have no money. I need help. So the Naphtali of Ravshitz said, okay, let me go help you. Wait here. He goes out and he starts going fundraising around the community again to raise money. He comes back with money. He gives it to the poor man. He says, listen, I'm going to let you keep the money. But tell me the truth. Are you really poor? Is your wife really sick? Are you really unemployed? Is your son really not well? Does your daughter need to get married? I'm not going to take the money back, but tell me the truth. And the man said, I have to confess it's not true. My wife is not sick. My daughter is only 4 years old. No one has to get married. Nobody's sick. And he asked the Rabbi, how did you know? What gave it away? So he said, I'll tell you, usually when I go around raising money, it's very difficult. People say, I can't give you. I've already given you yesterday. Don't come back again. Stop bothering me. Everyone gives me abuse. He says, today I went, everything was smooth. People were like, Rabbi, it's so good to see you. Here, let me help you. It's such a wonderful opportunity. I want to do a mitzvah. He said, there was no opposition. There was no challenge. Everything went so easy. I said, this really can't be a mitzvah. If this man was really poor and this was really a mitzvah, the Yetzer Hara would make it more difficult for me. The fact that it went so easy, I knew that you weren't really poor and it really wasn't a mitzvah. And that's what Hashem tells Yaakov. In this world, if you want to do great things, there's going to be opposition. There's going to be hardships. There are going to be challenges. And that's why don't think about looking for the easy path in this world. Look for the good path, the right path. Do what has to be done no matter how difficult it is. In the next world, you'll get your reward for this world.